And welcome to the Sports Show with Sal and Josh. I am Josh.
And I'm Sal.
And that's Sal. And we're here tonight to talk to you about all things sports. We saw you all on Saturday to talk about fantasy. We were mostly wrong because we're mostly stupid. So we'll get ready to do it right now. We're going to start by reviewing some of our picks from fantasy for last week. Just like to tell everybody kind of how this show is going to work. We have some topics that we're going to talk about here. But if at any time you guys want to talk about something else, please just write a question in the chat and we'll try to get right back to it. Also, anytime that you have anything to say, post in the chat. Try and keep it so you have as many swears as possible, because otherwise I'm really not going to notice that it's there. And in between each topic, we'll review the questions that have come up. If you guys really are getting angry, then, well, you found the wrong place to listen to. So first off, we're going to review our picks from fantasy for last week. Sal, last week, we weren't anywhere close.
Didn't do so hot on wide receivers, either of us, but who could have called those?
Yeah, the wide receivers, Demarius Moore, Laurent Robinson, Damian Williams, Vincent Brown, and Harry Douglas. Aside from Demarius Moore and Laurent Robinson, have you even heard of any of these other guys?
No, I have not.
These other guys basically nothings. Damian Williams, Vincent Brown from the Chargers. I mean, with Malcolm Floyd out, sure he's going to get some more time, but
Malcolm Floyd wasn't even. I mean, Malcolm Floyd wasn't getting all the looks in the world either.
Well, no. I mean, normally Vincent Jackson gets all the looks. But they didn't. The looks were going to Vincent Brown this week. You can't really expect that's going to happen every time. Some of the hits that I had, obviously the big one is how you said that Tom Brady and Mark Sanchez were going to score about the same amount of fantasy points, and I think Tom Brady just about blew that out of the water for you.
I mean, but that first drive, first Jets drive, I said, wow, there we go. Look at that. This guy fucking came through all the way down. I mean, couldn't get in the end zone, but it looked good. After that, it was a complete shit show.
Quick story to the viewers here. During the game on Sunday night, him and I made a little bit of a gentleman's wager regarding touchdown passes that each quarterback would throw.
Okay.
I said touchdown passes.
You did touchdown passes, so passes that lead to touchdowns.
Correct, which is going to come up later about in the story. So every time that Tom Brady threw a touchdown pass, Sal would have to take a shot. He ended up taking 3 shots that night. Every time Mark Sanchez threw a touchdown pass, I had to take a shot. I realistically should have only taken 1 because there was only 1 touchdown. But Mark Sanchez threw a pick 6, which
between the pick 6 and Sanchez running for a touchdown, both of those probably half a point.
Right.
Equals a shot. I mean, I don't see the problem there.
So semantics wise, yes, a pick 6 is a touchdown pass. In future, I'll make sure that I can clarify,
man. Hey, pass will lead to a touchdown.
That's right. You hit on Aaron Rodgers, obviously.
Aaron Rodgers.
He did incredible as I expected him to do. I only had him as number 2, but I had Vic, which was my colossal miss of the weekend.
Yeah, but I mean that was injury. I don't know do you know when that happened?
I don't remember when the injury happened. But I know that he wasn't having a good game because he finished out the game. I don't think it happened until the third quarter. Actually, I think it happened pretty late.
Monster hit too. You got crushed. But
when he got hit right in the back with the helmet, that was awful.
Yeah, Cam Newton, terrible game. I had him.
Cam Newton, real bad game. Yeah. I don't have him listed as a miss because I you know what I said I had him under Stafford, who was a miss, but I had him lower than normal. Because it was coming off a bye week,
you made that point,
I was afraid that he was going to over-prepare for the game and not just get out there and start throwing it around, which kind of happened. I mean, it seemed like they had a game plan and it just didn't work.
Yeah. But I mean, I went high on Sanchez, and I mean what does he look like? He looks like he's 7th.
7th overall?
7th overall.
Last week?
I mean, 19 points. Not a bad start.
Oh, well, that's because he ran for a touchdown, though. So that's a bit deceiving.
But 2 extra points and throwing 1, I guess. But he also had that pick where he just hummed the ball.
Yeah, right. So he didn't have a bad game. All right, I won't completely eat you alive for it, though. Another hit that I had, you missed, DeMarco Murray. Another big game from the Dallas running back.
Yeah.
I was pretty surprised. I mean, I had him high. Just because the past 3 weeks he's been doing so well, but I didn't feel overly comfortable about that. I mean, neither of us have him in our fantasy leagues, but I Still wasn't overly confident, but there it was.
Yeah, I mean, other running backs like Foster, I figured that would be a
Foster
big game.
had a
It
great
turned out to
game,
be
better
an absolutely
than I
huge
thought.
game.
Yep, better than I thought.
Chris Johnson, I had him at 8. He ended up coming in at 3rd on our scoring system.
Yeah,
but,
no, I count that as a miss for me too. I'm still not buying into the Chris Johnson hype yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I don't know. Same thing with Marshawn Lynch. Just absolutely turned it on. Marshawn Lynch looks really, really good out of nowhere because he's the only guy there.
Right. Yeah.
Forsett
Forsett isn't getting any touches anymore.
Put the team on his back.
Out. Yeah.
So I mean, he's getting goal line rushes, 3rd down rushes, 1st, 2nd down. He's the guy for that team. And I mean, he's going up against the Rams team who hasn't been able to stop anything. So I don't know. It's really he's doesn't look like he's gonna slow down
for next week, right? All right. Any other glaring hits or misses that we had? I missed on Jason Witten. Had a tough game. 5.5 points in a half PPR league.
Where did you put Adrian Peterson? I had him low and he sucked.
I think I had him low too.
I had him.
He's on the back of one of my.
I had him higher than he.
Actually, no. Yeah, I had Adrian Peterson top 6.
Yeah, he didn't do very well.
No, he didn't have a very good game at all.
I mean, watching that whole game was frustrating. It was just like.
That was a shitty game.
Yeah.
That was an awful game to watch.
Yeah. It was over as soon as it started.
The Monday, Sunday night games have been god awful.
They've been really bad. I mean, they look good on paper.
Right, but now it's Philadelphia and Dallas every time. I mean, last week was great. Patriots Jets, that was a that was a good game, especially for us as Jets fans. It was a great game. Patriots fans, yes, as fans of the Jets dying.
Okay,
yes, that would be us.
So I got like a little love-hate with the Jets. I just want to see them get close and then get crushed.
Right, but I think this Sunday is Philadelphia Dallas maybe. I don't know. I don't know who's playing, but I know Philadelphia is going to be in it. I mean, it's going to be a Philadelphia shit show again. And then Monday, while it's the Patriots, it's Patriots-Chiefs, and a Chiefs team that did not do nearly as well as they did last year. No. Matt Castle is having an awful year, and he's going to be out for this week. So there's going to be the guy's last name is Dowko, I think is the guy who's going to be starting to exactly. So that's going to be the Monday night game, which is going to be awful.
Yeah, and you know what, Gronk. Going back to tight ends. I didn't realize Gronk had that many points. I mean, I saw him score those touchdowns, but it might have been Gronk fantasy mode at that point.
Gronk was the reason that the Patriots won that game.
Yeah, wild game.
Okay, let's move on here, guys. Anybody have any questions before? I know that we had some viewers and some viewers left. Any questions you guys want to talk about? Please just post it in the chat and we can get talking about it. We do have our own things to talk about, but frankly, this show is for you guys, not just for us. So any questions, we'll be happy to answer. Now, the thing is, him and I are both from Boston. This show is broadcast out of Boston, so we obviously have some ties to Boston, and we follow those teams closer than anybody else. Now, I know, obviously, not everybody here knows everything about the Boston teams or has all that much interest in the Boston teams, so we're going to get it out of the way real quick. We're going to go through some Boston sports news and talk about what we know the best before we move on beyond that. So we're going to touch the 4 sports real quick and hopefully not touch them like Jerry Sandusky did. Bruins win streak extended to 6 games last night.
Yeah, that
on
really
the
good.
golden stick of Benoit Pouliot.
Yeah, not expecting that, but yeah, I played really well. It was a back and forth game at the beginning.
The Devils were answering every time we scored. They found an answer for it.
Yeah, it was cool to see them have that mental toughness to come back.
Exactly. The 5 games before that were so easy, where we're just blowing teams out of the water.
Good to see a different kind of win.
Right. And it wasn't the top 2 lines that won either. It was the bottom 2 lines.
Right.
7 points from the bottom 6 forwards.
Yeah,
which
really.
That's pretty good. I mean, Campbell had a goal, Thornton had a goal, and Pouliot had a goal.
Campbell was all over the puck. I was watching the game, doing other things. Every time I looked up, it was Campbell smothering someone. He played great. I mean, 6 straight, big game.
Yeah.
But I was looking at like stats and stuff. Sagan, best plus minus in the league.
Best plus minus in the league. Another +1 last night.
Yeah.
Didn't have a point, but another +1 last night.
I mean, 11 goals so far. I think he's 1 behind Phil Kessel.
2 behind Phil Kessel, 1 behind somebody else. So he's in third place in goals right now. We're talking about a guy who last season had 11 goals all season last year. He's got 7 goals already, 16 games into the season. He's gonna be a special player, a very special player.
Yeah, there was an interview the other day I heard. He was saying he's playing more comfortable. He's playing. He's not thinking about it as much. He's letting the
Right.
game come to him. And
Yeah.
I mean, that just comes with another year in the league, another year to be more
It's
mature.
experience, right?
And
you think about it, he's 19 years old. He's
that's
not even
fucking
that
wild.
mature. When we were 19, we were
Oh,
clearly
God.
not mature enough to handle any of that.
I mean, he's probably more mature than me now, but
Well, we did.
story.
I wouldn't know, but we played poker with him last year. He wasn't the most mature guy in the world.
Well, neither was Ryder.
Well,
But now that he
that's 'cause
doesn't,
Michael Ryder's a
now
bit of
that
a
he
space
doesn't have
case.
his big brother to
Yeah,
dick
yeah,
around
right.
with, he's becoming a little more mature. Yeah.
Which hey, you know what? They had a very good
Yeah.
chemistry last year.
Yeah.
So now that
being a
he's
bunch
getting
of
now that
goofballs.
now that he's getting the chemistry with Patrice Bergeron, I'd say he's probably in 10 times better shape
Yes.
than he was before.
Yeah, definitely. I'd rather have him on a line like that than with
Patrice Bergeron's the best overall
Ryder.
player on the
But
Bruins as far as I'm concerned.
Ryder making no problems moving to Dallas.
Ryder's
playing-
he's been incredible in Dallas so
really
far.
well.
I've always been a big fan of Michael Ryder. No idea why, but yeah, he's been doing real good so far.
Yes.
All right, NBA lockout seems like it's happening. Does this help the Celtics?
I mean, initially you say no. I mean, fifth oldest team in the league last year, 28 and a half years old average. That's plus. I don't even know how to explain this. The age weighted for minutes played. So most of the guys that are on the court, their age, instead of just going through the whole list of guys that don't play,
Right.
they're third. I mean, that's old.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Right.
For
So-
minutes played.
Right. So the age compared to the minutes played for the team. Okay.
And
Right, because a lot of teams will have older guys that are only sitting on the bench most of the time, not playing.
But the Celtics, contrary to that, have we put all our rookies on the bench and let the old guys go.
Yeah,
play
right,
ball. I mean,
exactly.
it worked for them. They were playing really well, but I mean, third in the league is a little high. Guys, I'm nervous about because of age. Jermaine O'Neal, KG, but a guy who I'm nervous about not because of age, just because of who he is, Big Baby. He's a big kid. Like,
True.
is he?
He's not mature enough to handle a year off.
Right, exactly.
That's what you're trying
Is
to
he
say,
going to
yeah.
go to the gym and be playing and keep his body in shape for a year and a half?
Certainly not.
I don't think so. I just
No.
don't think he has that in him. But
here's the thing. If they don't play this year, the contracts still count. Even though they're not paying them, the contracts still count.
Yeah. That
means after this year, the Celtics will only have 3 players under contract for the start of next
Holy
year.
Shit.
Those 3 players: Paul Pierce, Avery Bradley, and Rajon Rondo.
That is insane.
Rajon Rondo. So
I didn't realize that.
And the guys that I was looking at that are free agents coming up: Dwight Howard, Chris Paul, Kevin Love, Elton Brand.
Well,
and realistically, we could get 2 of those guys, and then get smaller guys. We could bring back Eddie House, who's also a free agent. Get back kind of less players, but a starting 5 of, let's say, Pierce, Rondo, Dwight Howard, Elton Brand, and then plug in whoever you want for the 5th.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good 4 to build off of,
That really
and
is.
a big 3 of Dwight, Rondo, and Pierce.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're not going to go Chris Paul. Rondo's the guy.
No, right. But if you wanted to, convert Chris Paul away from being a point guard and just having him able to be one if needed.
That seems like a lot of money.
But he's a good scorer, too, for
He's
a
a
point
good
guard.
scorer.
He's not all about the passing.
I think he's a good scorer because he has other point guards guarding him. If that.
Okay.
Does that
All right.
make sense?
Yeah. Right. So if you put him up against another shooting guard,
at him at
that's-
2, if you put him at a 2,
Yeah.
a 2 guarding him, a bigger guy. He's not a tall guy. He's
That's
he's
true.
expensive.
Okay.
I don't see Chris Paul. I don't see Dwight Howard.
Why don't you see Dwight Howard?
I don't see Dwight Howard because of just not so much the playing, but the interaction that the Celtics team had with him in the playoffs years back. It's just.
But hey,
he's. I don't know. I just feel like they don't respect him. He doesn't respect this team. I just think it's an emotional thing.
But don't you think that the face of the team would change a little bit if it was Rondo and Pierce instead of
It'd be
Garnett, Allen, Rondo, and Pierce?
Yeah, it'd be like a younger. But I mean, that's something that the Celtics like to do is play defensively. That's defensive basketball. So would it fit on the court? Yeah. I don't know if it would fit. I don't.
A lot of things change when laundry changes, though. When he starts putting on that shamrock instead of the magical basketball.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of things can change.
I mean, I guess where his paychecks coming from affect his actions too. So hey,
Certainly, yeah.
You might have that.
All right, Celtics done. Red Sox. Jonathan Papelbon has gone to the Phillies.
I don't like
Do you
that.
care?
Yeah, I don't like that. This is a guy he's a winner. He plays in the playoffs. You can close games anywhere, but can you close them on a big stage for the Red Sox in the playoffs?
Right. And
not everybody can do that. And
No.
Jonathan Papelbon proved he could do that.
Proved he could do it time in and time out. He was a big game guy.
I really don't like him going.
He had a couple tough years or not even tough years. He had his first few years. He put up such enormous numbers that there was going to be a fall off. He couldn't keep it up for forever. So, he'd blow 4 or 5 saves in a year, and people would be like, "Oh, what a terrible year he's having. This is awful. Fuck Jonathan Papelbon."
That's Boston, though. It's
and
very.
Boston,
I love to hop all over someone as soon as they go through a slump. But overall, if you look at his career overall, it sucks that he's gone. It sucks that we're gonna have to, and he's gone
and the word
to
is
another team close to us.
Plus a team that has Roy Halladay and Cliff Lee.
Yeah.
Those are guys that can at least throw 8 innings a game.
Yeah.
So Phillies are going to be unstoppable.
That is a shutdown.
Phillies are going to be really good.
And that's what we struggled with this year was pitching.
Our pitching
and it's
was
like,
terrible.
We got Jonathan Papelbon.
If we can find a way to get to the 7th inning, because we had Bard. But here's the thing about Bard, he may not be in the bullpen next year. Some people are talking about converting him over to a starter. So our bullpen will be Bobby Jenks and a bunch of other fat guys.
That's fucking scary. I don't like that at all.
I don't like the idea of that whatsoever.
Yeah, that sucks.
Also, David Ortiz wants to stay with the Red Sox. Do we need him at DH? The guy's a Dominican 37 or 36, which means he's probably 45 by now.
I don't even know. I mean, on one hand, he's been with the team so long. He's a likable guy.
Right.
It's Big Poppy. I mean, he's just this big smile.
Yeah, you can't help but like the guy.
But on the other hand, like some of the things he says, like some of his
he never fucking stops talking.
No,
that drives me insane.
I mean, even little circumstances like when he busted into Terry Francona's press conference
about the RBI.
He was like, "Oh my God, talk to you about that." I mean, you can't have that kind of a distraction on the team. It sucks. I mean, I can't believe he played the next game.
Oh, I completely agree.
But he played because he has been in the league so long. He's been the guy, and
he didn't have a bad year.
Living off that reputation.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have a bad year.
No, he didn't.
I think he had close to 30 home runs, 100 RBIs. That's all you can ask from a guy that's a DH.
Right.
But I think that the DH position, I think it's time to change. I think it's time to, because Kevin Youkilis is playing third base for the foreseeable future unless we trade him.
Okay.
He gets injured when he plays third because he plays so hard. In third, you're moving around a lot more than you are at first. That's why they call it the hot corner. If he doesn't play 140 games or 150 games and he's only playing 100 games, he's useless. So if we can rotate Youkilis and Adrian Gonzalez and whoever our fourth outfielder is, whether it be Michael Kadire or Josh Reddick, it doesn't really matter who it is. If we can rotate those guys through the DH position and give them days off at their position, I think it keeps them healthy and it keeps them ready to play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Less pressure at that position.
Okay, good. I'm glad we agree. All right, Patriots beat down the Jets of 37-16.
It really did.
I believe.
It really did. 37 points against the best defense in the league.
Suck my dick. That was the quote of the week by Bill Belichick talking to his son, Steve Belichick.
Who says that to the son? First of
all, his son's an older guy. Yeah. It's not like a 10-year-old son.
How does that come up in
conversation? Well, little son.
Yeah, hey.
37 points, suck my dick. Sorry, Sandusky, my bad. Jokes never get old.
Oh, man. That is
okay, so
ridiculous.
So as I said before the game, going into the game, you were actually worried the Jets were going to win.
I'm very worried the Jets were going to win.
Patriots don't lose 3 games in a row. It hasn't happened since, what, 2002? Is that what we said?
It feels like forever.
Right, exactly. And now, schedule remaining, are they going to lose 1 in a row from here on out?
They really shouldn't. I don't have it in front of me, but it is.
But so it
is bad.
They're 6-3 right now, I think. They can go 12-4. They could very easily go 12.
They really can.
I mean, 12-4, bet the house on. 13-3 is what I'm expecting. Because the teams that they're playing
drop off a game.
There's a possibility that one of these games could end up being a trap game.
Okay.
As early as this Monday, coming off such a great game against the Jets, where it was a total defensive and offensive game, and now you have playing the Kansas City Chiefs with no Matt Castle.
Yeah.
But it is on Monday night. That's what makes me think that it might not be a trap game.
I just don't think. I really don't think Dwayne Bowe has enough in him to catch every ball. I don't see them losing that game.
He can't keep
all.
doing it forever.
No way the Pats lose that game.
Right.
No way. Eagles, no.
Right, but what Eagles? Well, if Vic comes back, what Eagles team will show up? Because yes, the Eagles are what 3-6.
Eagles
are awful, but those 3 wins, they destroyed the team they played. Like it wasn't a.
Yeah, I mean,
if the Eagles have so much talent, but they don't have a good team.
If the Eagles don't get 3 interceptions, 2 interceptions, then they don't win that game. There's no way. They need to capitalize on Tom Brady's turnovers, and if that doesn't happen, they don't win.
Yeah.
Not a fucking chance.
Right.
Because that Eagles offense isn't doing it besides McCoy.
Okay. Colts, nothing. Redskins, nothing. Broncos. Fuck Tim Tebow.
You know what? Fuck Tim Tebow, but at the same time, who wins a game by completing 2 passes? That is fucking
Tim Tebow,
wild.
yes. He's 3-1 in his 4 games. You don't win against Bill Belichick.
No,
throwing 2 passes.
You can't run the option all afternoon and run the ball. How many times did they run the ball?
55.
It was ridiculous.
55 times.
8 passes.
Only 2 of them were completed.
I mean, if you're playing the Broncos anytime soon, you have to watch that footage and say, okay, well, this is what we do defensively to stop this guy.
Exactly. Load him up in the box and play man on the outside. That's what I do. And then the Patriots' poor secondary. Devin McCourty goes down again. Pat Chung inactive for the game.
Yeah.
We had released James Sanders and released Brandon Merriweather early on. So our top 2 safeties and our top 4 defensive backs last year are all currently not playing. And we have guys starting like Ross Ventrone, who cut again yesterday. He's been cutting added 13 times now. Hasn't been added back on yet though. But I was listening to an interview this morning, and apparently he just leaves his stuff there. He doesn't even come and clean it up.
Wow.
Because he just knows he's going to get picked back up again.
That's just weird. That's really weird.
He's trying to get into the mind of Bill Belichick.
Yeah. He's like,
doesn't work too successfully.
Let's make everyone think that he sucks.
Yeah.
Just keep dropping him. I don't know. No.
It doesn't make any sense at all. All right. So that is Boston Sports News for the day. Hope you guys have enjoyed that Boston Sports News. Obviously, by your lack of comments, I'm assuming that you didn't. At this time, we're going to start moving on to more national news stories the best we can. And also, we're going to have a segment of the Hot Sports Chick of the Week, which is going to be some athlete, cheerleader, or reporter that is in the news for some reason or another. It was actually a slow week for that right now, so we'll show that later. But before we do that, I'm going to grab a beer, and Sal is going to get into some advertisements that he has here. And then we'll get into Hot Sports Chick of the Week. Yes, I'll get you the holiday quarter.
Why don't you get me a Hefeweizen UFO?
I think I can get you a Hefeweizen UFO.
Do you like beer? Of course you do. Everyone loves beer. Well, in this winter season, turn to Raspberry Hefeweizen UFO Unfiltered Offering. Goes down smooth and satisfies my thirst. Drink Raspberry Hefeweizen UFO, then give your girl a raspberry right on the vagina. Raspberry Hefeweizen. So, what do you want to get into next? Mike Smith's 4th down and inches call late in the game.
Well, I think that we can break. I think we're about to get into the Hot Girl of the Week.
Oh,
I have an idea for it.
Take it
Here
over.
We go. Hefeweizen UFO raspberry. You guys are gonna love it. All right, Hot Chick of the Week. We have Danica Patrick is on tap for today. Let me just get a picture of her up here real quick. Give me just a second. You guys can probably hear me but not see me right now. Do not be alarmed. I'm just merely picking up a picture of her. Let's see what we can do here. Actually, I have a better idea. Let's get back to us. Okay. Let's get some picture-in-picture action here. That's what we're really looking for. Add file. Let's do it. Whatever. Yes, that's right. She's the GoDaddy girl.
Let's go, buddy.
I'm working on it. Don't worry. All right. Here's the picture. Pure, unadulterated sex. Just look at that. She's oozing sex in this picture. Oop, I'm over here. Just absolutely oozing sex. But that's not really the picture that does it for me. I'll show you the picture that, to me, I just want to wrap her in a brown paper bag and just take her right home.
She always reminds me of Super Bowl commercials.
Maybe she is in a ton of those.
Maybe because I do not watch racing.
This picture right here. I mean, just got that innocent smile, yay, yay, yay.
She looks like a mom. Is she a mom?
So you're saying that I have a thing for moms? I don't think she's a mom. No. Oh, that's back to the oozing sex picture. So that is our hot girl of the week, hot like sports chick of the week. Danica Patrick. She came in 21st place in the YPAL 200 this week and won $22,363.
You guys watch that?
On just one race.
I want to watch
that. Does anybody watch? Does anybody watch NASCAR? Nope, me neither.
Okay, next.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports chick of the week, Danica Patrick. And here we are back to normal things, as we lost all of our viewers. Okay. Sure, let's go to Mike Smith. Choice to go for it, 4th and inches in overtime. Do you do that?
No. At that spot in the field near his own 30-yard line in overtime.
You're 4th and inches. It was close. You have Michael Turner.
It was close. You have Michael Turner.
Turner's not a finesse back. He's a running back.
Everyone in the entire stadium knew that was the game plan. That was the play. And he's going to catch a lot of shit for it, and rightfully so. I mean, maybe you go for the QB sneak, but at your 30-yard line, you're putting the game on your offensive line. And hey, if you feel confident enough to do it, you better fucking get it done.
You got to do it.
You better push
that ball. You really
got
to do it.
But I mean, handing it off to Michael Turner,
everybody saw it coming. They don't have the same fullback they used to.
And you really. It's like what Bill Belichick does all the time. They always shit on him for like, oh, you don't trust your defense, that's why you go for the front down. Well,
yeah,
that defense stopped New Orleans first, right at the beginning of overtime.
Right, but it's still Drew Brees.
It is Drew Brees.
It's kind of it's exactly like the 4th and 2 in my opinion.
I don't remember where the 4th and 2 was. This is close. You're basically in field goal range.
No, it was.
You don't need a first down. Just kick a field goal from there.
I don't think they were that close.
Near the 30. That's a 46.
Are you sure they weren't near their own 30?
Oh, no. Because then they would have kicked it themselves. It was at their own 30. Ridiculous.
And they went, okay. What I wrote on my notes is, gotta bet to win. Gotta play big to win big.
Yeah.
If they had made it, they would have won the game. That's the only thing. And I don't know.
Yeah, with that head of steam, with that momentum, with that confidence.
So you give Drew Brees the ball on the 30, or give it to him on the 20.
I don't know, man.
Hey,
I don't know.
It didn't work out this time. I think you'd do it again next time in a heartbeat.
I think you QB sneak in that situation. The time it takes to turn around to Michael Turner, it's not a. It's
but
you're
Matt
not
Ryan's
trying to
not
break
a big guy. Matt Ryan's not a quick guy.
Tom Brady isn't either, and
Tom Brady's a big guy. He's not a strong guy.
He's slow as shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, you don't need to be that fast just to move the ball. Half a dozen inches.
No, you're right.
It's I don't know. I mean, maybe it's because he didn't get it. I'm shitting all over it, but
no, yeah, exactly. Yeah, if he had made it, he would have been a genius. That's how it goes every time.
Because they stopped him in overtime before, and that wasn't a really high-scoring game. There was 20. It was 26-23. Okay,
it wasn't nearly as high scoring as I thought it was going to be. Right.
26-23. So that's 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals to bring them in overtime apiece.
Right.
So Drew Brees scored 2 touchdowns at that point. When does the I don't know about the field goal rule after each team had the ball? I'm trying to think. So each team already had the ball. So that means next point wins.
Next point wins.
Okay. No matter what. So maybe that's why he goes for it, because he says, look,
even if they get into field goal range,
they're going to win with a field goal, which they've kicked 2 already. But hey. Tough call. Really tough call. It sucks to be in that position, and it sucks to get the shit from everybody when it fails. But
yeah, right. What are you gonna do? Yeah. Again, guys, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask us. We do our very best to answer any and all questions. Let's move on to let's hit the Sandusky thing real quick. I've made a couple jokes about it so far. He did an interview with Bob Costas, which I'm sure most people have seen, where he claims, yes, I took showers with them and horsed around. I also touched their legs, but never with sexual intent. To which I reply, fuck you, Jerry Sandusky.
Yeah, I mean...
You took showers with them and horsed around. This is a 10-year-old boy.
Okay, he says, I'm not... He's like, are you sexually attracted? This was Bob Costa says, are you sexually attracted to little boys? And he says something like, sexually attracted? No, I enjoy young people, and it's creepy and it's weird.
What Michael Jackson said too. Yeah.
Exactly. You're trying to be like trying to make a smart ass comment about it, and there's really nothing to be made. It's a fucking simple no, I'm not. No, why would I be?
Yeah, no,
it's
not.
It's not.
Who the fuck would be
sexually attracted? No, and he sounds like a fucking like that guy from Saw, and it's
emotionally attracted, man.
Yeah, it's like you have to if you're in that position and you've been like under scrutiny for it before, don't you live your life above reproach? Don't you make it so that no one has any question
exactly
ever? So, you know
when there was one issue, there should have never been another issue again.
People think that about you. Don't you go out of your way to not do anything like that
and stay away from 10-year-old boys?
Exactly.
I mean,
anyone was like kind of like wigged out about me being like a creep pedophile, I would go absolutely out of my way.
Exactly.
I just walk down the street kicking kids in the face.
Oh, you hate kids.
Why would you ever let yourself be put under that microscope and now have to explain all this weird shit to everybody publicly? And it's just every day it's more and more
right. I mean,
facts.
I coach Little League. You're part of the Big Brother Big Sister program. If anybody ever accused us of anything,
I'd be like,
it would be like, all right, you know what? I'll nothing happened, but I'll stay away. I don't want anybody to think anything could possibly happen.
You can't let yourself get in those situations where people could be like,
could you imagine
misconstruing something as something like that?
Like what could you and your little brother do in which afterwards you'd be like, oh, let's hop in the shower, you know?
Like no way. I would.
I'm playing a sport with 13 kids, and all right, guys, let's hit the shower, unrobe.
Could be like,
exactly.
Man,
you fucking
kidding me? Hell no.
Yeah.
I mean,
get the fuck out of here.
I go out of my way. Like I don't even like the kid. I mean, comes from a unfortunate situation, but
of course,
it like doesn't really. It takes him like 10 minutes to tie his shoes, but I don't help him because I just don't want to be like. It's just weird.
Exactly.
That's weird. Like I just. You just want to go out of your way to not be looked at like that.
Right.
And I don't understand why he thinks taking a shower with a kid is even. Oh, I did it with the best intentions. You know what?
No.
It's like
there are no good intentions.
It's
showering with a 10-year-old.
I
gotta tell you.
It's so frustrating. It's so annoying to hear someone sound like a fucking asshole. Oh, I'm just a big kid. Yeah, you're a fucking big sick freak.
I remember my first year coaching Little League. You know, you have the knee protectors for catchers, and the kids that I was coaching, they were 8.
Yeah,
they didn't have the dexterity to attach them, so they were just like, Coach, help me. And I was like, no,
get one of your buddies to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Get one of the other kids to do it. You're freaking me the fuck out. I couldn't even go that far. And a kid asked me to help him tuck his shirt in. I go, you know how to tuck a shirt in. You don't fucking need my help, okay?
It's sad that we're in that kind of area, where in that day and age where you don't want to help
anything.
You because you know there's eyes everywhere, and you just don't.
Things could get interpreted wrong, and that's awful. You don't want that to happen.
It's so you just gotta live your life above reproach, and he's just being a fucking moron.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll get off it because it's been so talked about on every sports program because so many people feel passionate about it because it's such a bullshit situation.
I just got pretty fired up real quick.
All right, let's break for an ad from our friends at Sam Adams. Hi, I'm Josh from the Sports Show with Sal and Josh. I'm here with my Sam Adams Winter Lager. It may be 60 degrees outside in Boston right now, but it's winter in my stomach. Wait, now it's winter in my bladder. That's right, it stays cold and fresh from the bottle to my toilet. Sam Adams Winter Lager, for when you want a winter wonderland in your dick. Sam Adams Winter Lager.
There we go.
Thank you, our great advertising friends at Sam Adams and at Heffenweisen. NBA lockout. How many people really care? Is David Stern an asshole? ESPN poll found that 24% of people are upset about the NBA lockout.
I feel like that's low.
I feel like that's high.
I feel, you know what though? Put it this way: if basketball started and went on for whatever, how long it's at this point decided to shut down, do you feel like that number would be a lot higher? Do you think people would be like, "What the fuck? What happened to basketball?"
Right.
So,
I do.
So why?
I do.
Why is
and
it?
You know when I think the number is going to be higher? February. When there's no football anymore.
Yeah, that sucks.
Sure, it'll be the dog days of hockey. So you're still gonna have 2 months left of hockey before the playoffs start. So people are gonna be pretty goddamn sick of hockey by then.
Yeah.
The people that aren't the strong, hardcore hockey fans as we are.
Right. But I mean,
football will be over. Sure, baseball will be starting up, but who the fuck wants to watch spring training games?
No.
You want to, especially living in a place like Boston or like Atlanta, or not actually, I say Atlanta, not Atlanta anymore. Boston, Chicago, where you have a hockey team and a basketball team going at the same time. That with us in Boston, every night there was a game on.
Yeah, and it was,
at the very most we had
great.
one night off a week.
You could go out any night without.
Exactly.
We never. What do you want to watch?
Yeah, there was never an excuse or anything like that. Yeah.
I mean, tonight would have been cool if we were watching.
If the Celtics game was on. But, that would have been tonight. That's right. But I forgot about that when the schedule came out. That was Celtics Heat. The big thing though is you think about. We'll keep it local. The companies around the Garden, they're not getting any business tonight.
Right.
If this is a home game tonight, they say that on average every Celtics game generates $1 million worth of business in the Garden and the surrounding area.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's $40 million that Boston is losing out on per year.
Hotels for other teams, traveling fans, and that adds up.
Right.
Everyone eats, everyone gets shit-faced at games. It's like
exactly. But here's the thing: who's to blame?
Okay,
both sort of the players are being selfish.
At the beginning of this,
billionaires and millionaires arguing with each other.
At the beginning of this thing, I was very yeah, David Stern, you asshole, man. I mean, it's easy to be like that because
it's very easy to be like that because we're not billionaires.
Yeah, right. We're like, oh, look at this fucking greedy asshole. But now I'm looking at like the players and hearing both sides, and it's like, fuck both of you guys.
They're not doing anything.
Like, just
here's the thing:
$4 billion they're splitting, and it's like 51%, 49%.
51-49. Like, I'm sorry.
It's ridiculous.
Realistically, I don't think the players should get any of it. The players are getting paid to play basketball. They're getting their money for that.
Yeah.
Other than that, they have nothing to do with that $4 billion that they're splitting. If you want to, if they're arguing for 50-50 for that to go into some sort of fund so that they can pay, Michael Jordan's medical bills in his retirement, fine.
At the same time, it's not like other sports where you have guys with brain injuries. It's not like football where people are getting concussed and they could use extra money all the time.
Yeah.
It's basketball. You sprain your ankle, like
exactly right. You can get over that real quick.
I don't know.
The biggest injury in basketball in the past 30 years was Magic Johnson getting AIDS. That's the biggest.
Dying from coke and whatever. But I mean.
Yeah. But that's not basketball related. He didn't get AIDS on the court, and he didn't.
And he's had it since before I was born, so he's
that's true. I forgot about that.
It's I don't know. It just seems very childish. It's like, come on.
It's a bit much.
You know what?
Let's start playing some basketball.
At the NFL lockout, when that was the whole thing, I said, they gotta play.
You thought the whole time
it's
they're
football.
Gonna play. Yeah.
There's no way there's not going to be a football season. And, of course, same thing with basketball. When that started up, I was like, here we go again, fucking bitching and moaning over cash. And now it's like, wow, that really fucking happened. That sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks. Big basketball fan. Not happy to see this.
I can't imagine it. Yeah.
It sucks. And I'm not even just a Celtics fan. Like, watching teams, like, I like to watch Bulls games. I like to watch Magic games. Like, it really sucks.
Yeah, you like to watch basketball. You're a big basketball fan. So let's move from the polar opposite of basketball to the NHL.
Opposite is right.
Who's been having a good week this week? What teams have you been watching? What have you been seeing? For me, obviously the Bruins undefeated in November. New York Rangers undefeated in November. Pittsburgh has been playing incredibly well. 7-2-1 in their past 10 games. Minnesota 7-3 in their past 10
that's
games.
a team that finally is like, I like that team.
Minnesota
that's a
is
cool fucking team.
It's a weird team because I watched Minnesota. I watched like
that's right.
6 Minnesota Wild games last year.
We watched a shitload of Minnesota
because they were always on.
Yeah.
It was really weird. Now I still think for the month of November that the Bruins have been the best team in November.
Yeah.
They're undefeated in November. Rangers are the only other team that's undefeated in November. But the Rangers, they've let up less goals, but they've also scored far less goals.
Mm-hmm.
So they're having 3-1 victories instead of 6-2 victories.
Right. And at the beginning of the year, there was the talk about the Bruins was, is this team going to be able to put enough goals?
Exactly. The questions were, can Marchand repeat, and will Seguin get better? And the answers.
Both of those have been
the answers through the month of November. Yes and yes. Pittsburgh playing incredibly well, first place in the conference.
For all that Crosby talk and
they don't have the best player in the world.
And you know what's funny? Last year I was making jokes. Yeah, the Bruins won. It was like, first off, I'd like to thank the Penguins
for losing Sidney Crosby,
not being the Penguins that we thought they were. And but no, really though, that's
Sidney Crosby and no Ovechkin Malkin.
That's a guy that's
Crosby right now. I mean, if you want to go from the last time that he stepped on the ice, he was the best player in the world.
Yeah,
you can't make the argument about Ovechkin anymore because he's had now two.
Played good this season, but last season not so much.
This season through a month and a week, but he hasn't been playing. He's supposed to be right now. He should be the best player in the league.
He really should be.
Right now, the best player in the league is. Take your pick from Phil Kessel, Tyler Seguin.
Yeah, which is. Can you imagine if a month ago I was like, Phil Kessel would be the best.
Right. But he's streaky, and now he's starting to fall off.
Yeah.
He's not the best player in the NHL this year. No. I think the best player in the NHL this year is Steven Stamkos.
Hey, playing his ass off, that's for sure.
Right. Which brings me to my next point: is Tyler Seguin the next Steven Stamkos?
It's a tough question. It really is because he's really fucking good right now.
He's on pace for over 100 points and over 60 goals.
It's really early for that.
It's tough,
pace
but
stuff.
He's already scored 11. We're 6 of the way through the season.
He has scored 11 goals.
So,
and he's very self-aware of where he is on the ice now, and he's getting in position to get those easy goals like he wasn't doing last year. You see him in front of the net putting back pucks. It's something he didn't do very well last year. He's getting dirty. He's in dirty areas. He's
exactly.
And
he's winning the one-on-one battles. That's what he learned from Patrice Bergeron right there.
There we go.
Winning those
there
battles.
We go. And you love to see that from young kids, and it's fucking huge.
Yeah, he's
really
19.
Fucking huge.
So Stamkos, in his first year in the league, he was also 19. He had a tough first go of it. Ended up scoring close to 30 goals and about 70 or so points. Next year he comes out and scores 50 and over 100. Yeah. So if you think Seguin, 19 this year, he's going to score at least 30 goals this year. He already has 11 and we're in November. He's going to score 30. At least. I wouldn't be surprised if he scored 40. Next year, if he comes back and scores 50, that's the next Steven Stamkos.
Okay, if he comes back and scores 50, then this face of the Bruins is
Tyler Seguin.
Like, fuck you, new kid in town. Like, Luch, you had your run.
Yeah, exactly. You should have scored more than 30 fucking goals last year. He scored 30 goals with, I want to say, 15 games remaining. That's at least enough time to get up to 35.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, Luch, and you want to talk about that Luch hit on Miller the other night?
Yes, I do. I forgot about that.
I mean, could he have
avoided it?
Could he have avoided it? Yes.
Probably.
Should have you avoided it? I don't know. I like it.
But, I mean, you know what? Brendan Shanahan says no. Brendan Shanahan says, hey, it happened. Incidental contact. No suspension.
Yeah. And you know what, though? I really think that had a lot to do with the face-to-face interview with Luch that he had, because he sold it. We watched it. We watched it out there. I watched it on right from the interview. He went on to a local sports show. It's live on TV, and I watched it. And he sat there and he said, like, with that big smile on his face, you know, I was looking down. I was hit the puck, and when I looked up, he was right there. And you know what? You believed him because he's such a. He's a likable guy, and it's like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, no. You're Canadian.
So I think he got away with it.
Watching it, he looked up. He did look up.
Yes,
but he also slowed down.
He slowed down. He did not crush him. He made contact. It wasn't. He didn't lower a shoulder and anything.
As Claude Julien said, if he wanted to hit him, Ryan Miller wouldn't have got back up.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Luch is a tough guy. It was funny. Miller's comment was, yeah, fucking piece of shit. Like, the guy's an asshole. He's got 50 pounds on me. He's complete gutless. All that kind of shit. First thing Luch says on the radio the next day is he hears the clip and they're like, Luch, your comments? And he says, well, first of all, I think I got maybe about 60 pounds on the guy. And I was like, whoa.
There you go.
I couldn't believe he came out and said something like that. I was excited. I mean, because you know what? It's look, don't fuck with us with the Bruins. We're gonna fucking hit you. And you want
exactly. We have somebody on every line, and we have somebody on every defensive pairing. So beat the shit out of you if you fuck with anybody.
And you know what? We exposed the pussy inside of the Sabres. That team was supposed to come out, and that team was hot at the beginning of the year. It was here come the Sabres.
Yeah. No, they have 11 wins. They're a good-looking team.
And Luch was like, nah, fuck you guys. You guys are shit. And you know what? They got the same kind of bully treatment that they got the next night from the Canadians. The Canadians put a hurt on them, and they didn't come out. They didn't fight. They didn't look tough at all. And that's such an attitude and a mindset in hockey that I mean,
you gotta be tough. You gotta know it.
In other sports, you could be finesse and you don't have to be so tough. But hockey, it's like, oh no, you're not getting into our zone. Like, fuck you guys at the blue line.
Yeah.
And the Bruins showed that.
Right. You know, a lot of people brought up the Marc Savard situation a couple of years ago, where Matt Cook hit Marc Savard, and nobody responded.
You know,
but that was 2 years ago. That was a different team. That was a team that had Blake Wheeler, and had Mark Stewart, who Mark Stewart probably should have gotten involved in the situation. But and here's another thing with Marc Savard: the players don't like Marc Savard. His concussion and everything. Oh great, poor guy.
Yeah,
players don't like Marc Savard because he's a selfish guy.
And the whole time frame of it all was completely different too. Marc Savard got hit. That's it. He's down. He's on the ice. It was diffused quickly.
Yeah.
This was Luch goes up against the boards. He's swinging at two guys, and then it was a whole lot of standing around.
Yeah, exactly.
Luch isn't gonna hit your goalie and then kick your ass. You have, as an opposing team, needs to come out and make that initial fight.
I forgot about that. Right after it happened, the two guys go up to him.
Yeah,
he hits one in the face and then the other one in the face.
Yeah, and that was it.
It's like, all right, get the fuck, don't fuck with Luch.
And I forget.
And McCormick was out there, right? McCormick's a big guy. McCormick's 6'3", 6'4".
If there was anyone on that team that was going to do it, it was going to be him, and he didn't do anything.
Coletta wanted to get out there. Coletta was cowboy in the boards.
Yeah.
And then Horton went over and pushed him back into his own bench.
I didn't see that.
So, yeah.
I got to go back and see that.
Because if Coletta steps on the ice, that's an immediate 10-game suspension. If you step on the ice when in the middle of a scrap like that, and he had cowboyed the boards.
Man.
He was on there. And so as Horton was skating back to the bench, he saw it and he was just like, "Fuck you," and then pushed him back into his own bench.
That is fantastic.
And there was a little scrap, But you know what was funny? What makes this sport great is that after that, the referee went and had a talking to with Coletta, not Horton. He went and goes, "Yeah, fucking, you can't do that. Like,
you should
the
have
fuck
done
are
that.
you thinking getting over here? That was a dumb idea."
But I mean, that's because we were born here. That's how we feel.
Well, of course, Don't fuck with our players.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, so I think we've hit just about everything. Guys, if you have any questions, I notice that we have a whole 6 viewers right now. So if you have any questions, please ask them at this time so that as we're kind of going over our last segment that we'll be able to answer them after that, and we'll be able to get into talking about some of the things that you guys like, unless you don't like anything and you think that we're just so smart that we know every single thing that you guys want to talk about.
It's probably true.
It's probably true. But if you do have any questions, please, so help us God, ask us.
Top games?
Top games, your favorite games in the NFL and the NHL this week, because those are the only two real sports that are playing right now.
NHL first, since we're on that
topic?
Let's
do NHL first, since we're already right there.
I want to talk about the hot Pittsburgh Penguins first.
The Sidney Crosby-less Pittsburgh Penguins, which I wanted to get into this conversation. Sidney Crosby, best player in the NHL.
When he's healthy.
When he's healthy.
Absolutely.
Could be coming back any day now.
Any day now.
Any day now.
I didn't see that.
The Sidney Crosby, he was cleared for contact about 2 weeks ago. And he's been practicing really well. Alexei Kovalev said that he's practicing like a superstar yet again.
Wow. I don't know if that confidence is going to translate into gameplay, but we'll see.
Of course. But it's going to be much different.
That's huge. I mean, coming off...
If it happens. It's not going to happen for this game. I'm saying it's probably 2 weeks out.
No. I don't think they'd put him out there against... I mean, Tampa Bay is not a tough team, but you know what I mean. That's going to be a really fast game.
It's going to be a quick-paced game, right?
And, Malkin I love. Dude's
Gino. Fuck you, Gino.
And that Tampa Bay Lightning team, I really liked watching them again in the Bruins in the playoffs. I mean,
it was a fun team to watch.
It's a likable team.
Right. They're not as good this year.
Talented team.
Right.
I mean, on paper, it's like, whoa, that's a good fucking team. But playing pretty good. I think they're, I don't know,
they're 8-7-1,
middle of the pack, kind of something like that. But cool game.
I know it'll be a good game. There's a lot of talent on both those teams. You got James Neal, who's been playing out of his mind for the Penguins so far.
Yeah.
He's probably top 5 player in the NHL right now. Yeah.
Not bad.
My NHL game of the week, Chicago and Edmonton on Saturday the 19th. Chicago has been playing real well so far. They still have that young team. Yeah, best team in the league with Kane and Jonathan Toews.
I fucking hate that guy.
Players. Oh, I hate Jonathan Toews.
God, I mean, he's such an unlikable fuck.
And his name. Toews. It should be Toes.
How is that Toews?
Toes. Jonathan Toews. No, it's Taves.
I don't know.
There's a V somewhere in there. But no. I completely agree.
There's other guys on that team that...
fucking arrogant asshole. I can't fucking... Duncan Keith, great player.
Duncan Keith. Hollis is really cool to watch. I mean, I like watching Kane. I like watching Kane. He's a young kid, and he just looks like a genuine kid. He looks like he has a good eye. He's to watch.
But you know what? With hockey players, you run across... think about the most hated hockey players that you can find right now. All of them are on the Canadiens because we can't stand any of them. All of them are on Vancouver because we can't stand them from last year. Yeah. And then you have Jonathan Toews and Sean Avery.
Who is he? Is there any update on that?
I don't even know if he's been picked back. He wasn't picked up on waivers, so he's back with the New York Rangers. I don't know if he's playing or if he's just a scratch every day.
That guy should not be playing in the league.
He's a fucking asshole.
Shouldn't be playing in the league at all.
Complete fucking asshole. So, and then Edmonton, you got a great young team that, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
2 number 1 picks?
2 number 1 picks in a row, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Taylor Hall. And then, not to mention, Jordan Eberle, who's another young, dynamic player. I think he's only 23, so you got 23, 19, and 18. And that's their top line. Their top line
is ridiculous. They're building for a future. And
it's kind of like our second line, Bergeron's 25, Marchand's 23, and Seguin's 19. So you got a 25-year-old who's the veteran of that team.
Yeah.
And granted, Bergeron's been around for 7 years
That's been a hell of a line. I think Marchand is, Seguin's number 1 on the team with goals, then Luch, and then Horton and Marchand are both tied with 5. That's a really productive young line.
Right, and Bergeron's number 3 on the team in points. He's got those assists.
Yeah, he's got both of those guys to get the puck too. Why wouldn't you be that high in points?
Exactly. So that's my NHL game of the week. So we'll move on to NFL because I know a lot of people like the NFL. Your NFL game of the week.
Tomorrow, actually, both of my games are tomorrow night. I got
Thursday night game.
The Broncos versus the Jets, and I'm excited to watch this game. First off, because I spent all week looking forward to Sunday to watch football, and
now
I get to watch it on Thursday, so that's exciting. And I'm intrigued by Tebow.
Can he keep winning games like this?
I don't know how he goes about we just came out and we executed real well. And first off, I just want to thank God. And I'm just like, that's this fucking guy. Like, throws 2 completed passes, wins the game. One's a fucking bomb to Decker.
One is a perfect pass. It was a quarterback's throw.
Exactly, and all you hear about is Rod can't throw. He's inexperienced, this and this, and you're like, well, you're right. But at the same time, why is he winning these games? Why are they rushing the shit out of the ball and still being productive and still putting points on the board? Rush for a touchdown, threw for a touchdown. I mean, fantasy-wise, it's like, well, I'm not.
Hey,
but at the same time, this is not a
it.
guy who I want to watch on Sunday. And I can't wait to watch Tim Tebow every Sunday.
Yeah,
that's
run the ball 55 times.
That's not the guy I want to have as my starting quarterback. But am I intrigued? Do I want to watch him play against the Jets secondary? Of course.
Yeah, it'll be pretty interesting. It'll be an interesting game, that's for sure.
Definitely.
Did you hear what you might have read on Barstool what John Fox said about Tim Tebow?
No,
he said something along the lines of, "Well, hey, you can't really argue with the guy. You know, we're basing our offense around him right now, and it's working.
They really
if I was running a regular offense, it'd be screwed. Because that's what it is.
Right.
It'd be fucked if you any sort of real offense.
It's what they did it over in Denver was the fans begging for him. So you know what? Okay, let's put him in. This is a win-win. If he sucks, good. Look, we tried, but hey, he fucking sucks. If we traded up to get him, we picked him really early.
It wasn't the John Fox Denver Broncos that did that. It was the Josh McDaniels Broncos that did that.
Very true.
And I almost wonder if you remember before that draft, Tim Tebow was in the North End with Bill Belichick.
Right, and he brought up football. That's besides the point. Come on, man, grow up.
But Josh McDaniels is a Bill Belichick product.
Oh,
and so you wonder,
product.
Did he see that and he was just like, oh, Belichick, listen, they're drafting first round.
You know what though?
Bill
Belichick has that effect on people like Mangini and everything. But yeah, he's it's what was the point earlier about son of a bitch. Anyway, alright, I forget. Well, anyways, Tebow. Really interesting to watch. Can he throw the ball against the Jets? Probably not. Can he run the ball against the Jets? Yeah, probably can. But does Rex Ryan have it in him to say, hey, they're going to run the option 50 fucking times tonight. Let's just stop it. I don't know. That's the game plan.
Alright, so let's talk about this real quick. I didn't even think about talking about this before. Since we normally do a fantasy show on Saturdays, let's talk about the fantasy implications of tomorrow. Tebow Sanchez fantasy-wise, which one would you prefer?
Oh, that's fucking ridiculous. I can't even answer this question because this game is so fucking stupid.
You have no idea what's going to happen.
You have Tebow, who's just strangely winning these games, strangely putting up big fantasy numbers, but Jets defense, normally pretty well, played like shit against the Pats.
Yeah.
Sanchez, he's a good start, especially against Broncos. I mean, Sanchez, he can run the ball a little bit, not like Tebow.
No.
But he can run the ball a little bit, he can pass the ball a little bit, and he's got good receivers. I mean, not great receivers, they're whining receivers, but hey, not bad. Not a bad team. I think Sean Green's going to have a really good game. But,
Sean Green or LaDainian Tomlinson?
LaDainian Tomlinson not playing.
Not playing?
Not playing.
Yeah, right.
So I think Sean Green is going to have a very good game.
Oh, yes, you're right. Out after last week. Oh, goodness. Yeah, no, you're right.
Who do I start? I guess I'll go Sanchez, just because I strangely want to root for this guy. I don't know
why you want to root for this guy.
Me, man.
I mean, so you're rooting for a USC guy or an FSU guy.
Yeah.
As Marcus would describe it.
Yeah, fucking college.
I'd start Tebow personally. That would be my choice.
For rushing touchdown purposes?
Yeah, because as I said last week.
Okay.
He's a running back who happens to throw for 100 yards.
Okay, right.
Whether he does it through 100
yards. But
yeah,
does
Steven Jackson throw for 100 yards?
No, of course not.
But does he run for 100 yards? Yeah, so does Tebow.
Okay.
He runs for 100 yards and gets a touchdown, just like Tebow, except Tebow throws a touchdown pass once again.
But does Eric Decker get open in that secondary? Fuck no.
Who's the other guy they have, though? They have one other wide receiver.
Traded away Lloyd.
They traded away Brandon Lloyd.
The first guy is.
Either way, but yeah. Yes, Eric Decker does, because they're going to run the ball 50 times, and then in the third, Revis is going to be on Revis Island, and he's going to go, I'm going to fucking tackle this fucking guy this time.
They could get away with one-on-one coverage that entire fucking game because the receivers are so decent and because that secondary is so talented, and they will exploit that. They'll bring safety blitzes, all kinds of shit. Rex Ryan's a smart guy. He's not he's probably got a good game plan going. I mean, as much as I don't like him, but as entertaining as he is, he's a smart guy.
Okay. So you don't feel comfortable with Eric Decker next week? Or tomorrow, I guess.
No.
Who? How can you? When they throw two passes,
no.
you can't feel comfortable going with somebody like Eric Decker.
Yeah,
sure, he put up the points, but how do you feel comfortable
yeah,
with that?
So say Tebow doesn't make that pass.
Yeah, right.
So he doesn't make one pass. Can you imagine Eric Decker drops one ball that game? That is a completely different ball game. That is fucking ridiculous. I'm not putting any stock in that.
No. Okay, Jets wide receivers, Santonio Holmes and Plaxico Burress. Which one would you prefer? Or even Dustin Keller. Which one of the three would you prefer?
Which one I prefer?
Right. All right. We'll say 1, 2, 3.
Holmes, Keller,
Plaxico.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. You know what? I'm actually gonna agree with you. I think Plaxico and his fucking weird bug eyes are.
Yeah.
I think people have gotten their scout book back open for him and know what to expect.
Yeah. And Keller's really good. Real talented guy.
My NFL game of the week is Sunday, 1 p.m. on Eastern Standard Time. For you Pacific Standard Time, that's 10 a.m. That would be the...
That's crazy.
Remember when we were out in Vegas?